Hello, television family. Happy Fat Tuesday, 4th day of March, 2025. I'm Dan Koontz. A lot cooler now than it was 24 hours ago when this show started on Monday. It was 45 degrees. We got all the way up to 61 yesterday. This morning, it's 38. We're not going to get to 61. We're not even going to get to 51. We're going to have a significant cool down today as a weak shortwave disturbance is coming through, something they were not expecting yesterday. They are now expecting today, and that is some rain this afternoon. Going to be a little wet. This is of the entire forecast that the weather we've been dealing with the last 3 or 4 days, and the weather that's coming over the next week. This is going to be the the cloudiest, wettest day of the forecast period. Still not bad. 61 yesterday. That was well above the forecast high, the record high on Monday. The 3rd was 62. We almost set a record high yesterday. Came pretty darn close. It was nice. It was just a gorgeous day yesterday. A lot of people had Monday off. I briefly went down to the Pybus to pick something up, and there was a lot of people on the Apple Capitol Loop Trail, and I don't blame them. Probably not as many today. Forecast details are coming up. It's going to be a little wet this afternoon and a little windy, by the way, on Thursday, to give you a little preview. A lot of news to touch on. Not too much in the world of sports. The Mariners won a game that didn't count, but we'll have highlights of their Cactus League victory over the Cleveland Guardians and preview the upcoming sporting events. And speaking of sports, it's Tuesday. Austin Drade, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, will be joining me as he always does on Tuesdays. They actually have a home game tomorrow. That doesn't happen too often. I can't remember the last time they had a Wednesday home game at the Town Toyota Center. There's only 8 games remaining for the Wenatchee Wild. They only have 3 more home games in the regular season, and they got some work to do if they plan on making the playoffs. They lost ground to the Seattle Thunderbirds over the weekend. Austin Drade will be joining me, and a brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. You've never seen it because we never aired it. We'll have that for you as well. 3 weather-related items to throw up on the screen for you. First of all, a brief synopsis of what we're looking like weather-wise today. Again, we're going to be fairly cloudy. There's going to be some light rain in the Wenatchee Valley this afternoon. Light snow in the mountains. Stevens could get 2 or 3 inches of snow later on today because the snow level is going to be about 3,200 feet. We're going to be in the lower 50s today. We're going to be about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, but it's going to be pretty cloudy. And then Wednesday to Friday, not a lot to talk about. Basically, no real weather at all. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, very little precipitation. The temperatures will be slightly warmer than normal, so that's your weather synopsis. Here's a little video from the National Weather Service. This is the rain forecast that they think is going to happen as the rain begins to roll in this morning in the Puget Sound area and work its way to our area by the early afternoons. Our best shot at measurable rain is going to be between about 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're talking light rain between 1 and 4 as the band passes over. Again, passes are going to get some snow, not a lot, just enough to make it dicey. Most of the rain, as you see, is going to be relegated to the Puget Sound area and up north to Bellingham. We are going to get a little bit of rain. Some of the eastern Washington area is not going to get really much rain at all. Anyway, that's the precipitation today through tomorrow morning that the National Weather Service is expecting. That's a pretty cool graphic. And I mentioned before, it's going to be a little windy on Thursday. Quite gusty at times on Thursday in many locations. Obviously, the brunt of the wind, as you see there, as it comes right down the Columbia River, is going to be the Omak, Okanagan, Orville area, Tenasket, maybe right on into Pateros. It'll be quite windy as well. It'll pick up and be a little breezy in the Wilbur area, obviously the Waterville Plateau, which is prone to wind anyway, and out in the Columbia Basin. We're going to have wind gusts, but not real strong wind gusts here in the Wenatchee Valley, but it's going to kind of run out of momentum by the time it gets to us, but it'll be going just fine up in Omak and Okanagan, so we wanted to give you a heads up on there. Sunrise this morning, 6:34. Sunset this afternoon, or tonight I can probably say now, 5:51. 11 hours and 16 minutes of daylight. That's 3 minutes and 24 seconds longer than yesterday. Tomorrow will be 3 minutes and 24 seconds longer than today. The days are definitely getting longer, and you can tell. All right, from the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Light rain, about a 40% chance of it. Most of it, again, between 1 and 4, with some light snow in the mountain passes, a couple of inches, maybe 3 on Stevens, maybe an inch on Blewett. That's about it. We'll top off at 51 after yesterday's 61 degrees. Partly cloudy, 30 for the overnight low, which is just about normal for this time of the year. Partly sunny on Wednesday. We'll top off at 49, and then quite a bit of sunshine will come our way Thursday. with a high of 54. Friday with a high of 54. Saturday with a high of 54. Partly sunny on Sunday and a high of 56. Don't forget daylight saving begins on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Don't get me started. So today, going to be cloudy, light rain, and then that's really about it. Things are looking very pleasant indeed. March has been very mild and pleasant so far. We got a long way to go, like, 27 more days. Well, we only have 2 minutes to go before we do the news, so stick around, and in 2 minutes we'll do the news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
High clouds, 38 degrees. Will be about 48 or so. Pretty cloudy, some light rain in the afternoon hours. It dispatches and leaves our area later on today. It looks pretty good for the rest of the week. Quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures just a little bit above normal. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We now know the identity of the man who was killed in that deadly snowslide on Friday near Harts Pass in Okanogan County. Turns out it was an East Wenatchee man who was snowmobiling in the area. 40-year-old Andrew Kennedy was pronounced dead at the scene near the Brown Bear Mine. It's about 20 miles northwest of Mazama. Kennedy was traveling in a group of 3 snowmobilers when they triggered a large slide. This is according to the Northwest Avalanche Center. He and a second male rider, they were caught in the snow and debris. The second man was injured, but he did survive. Helicopter rescuers from Mazama responded to transport the injured rider. Avalanche danger in the area was assessed as moderate at all elevations on the day of the slide last Friday. A preliminary investigation into the cause of the Pioneer Fire that threatened Stehekin last summer was inclusive, according to the State Department of Natural Resources. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, obtained the investigation report last Thursday, and it says there is evidence to suggest the fire began near where a man was using power equipment. According to the report, the landowner denied welding or grinding in the area prior to the fire. He denied that to investigators, but he did say he had been running a generator and an air compressor. The Pioneer Fire started on June 8th on the north shore of Lake Chelan, and the report says the fire danger rating was low at the time with a burn ban in effect, but it did not prohibit the use of machinery. The investigation is expected to be finalized within a couple of weeks. It is unclear whether authorities will pursue legal action against the landowner. Douglas County is taking bids on its plan to reroute about a mile of McNeil Canyon Road. County commissioners closed the steep rural road to unpermitted truck traffic a couple of years ago. There's a very dangerously curved section of McNeil Canyon, and they're going to straighten it out. Construction is scheduled to start this year. Construction companies wishing to bid on the project get their proposals in to Douglas County's Transportation and Land Services Department before March 24th. That's when county commissioners will examine the bids and vote on the award. The county began seriously questioning whether McNeil Canyon was safe for truck drivers to navigate after a series of semi-rollovers in 2022 and 2023. One of those killed a semi-driver. A Spokane teenager who was accused of stalking and harassing a Wenatchee 17-year-old last year pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. 18-year-old Declan Riley Finch was arrested last summer for allegedly threatening a Wenatchee girl and her family, both in online chats and by text messages. At one point, according to the Wenatchee Police Department, he spoke with the girl's father by phone and threatened to come to their house with a firearm. Finch was initially charged with felony cyber harassment, but Chelan County prosecutors agreed to dismiss that count in exchange for the lesser plea. Finch must carry out 40 hours of community service and complete anger management treatment. The girl's family has obtained a protection order blocking him from contacting her again. A Washington State trooper was jailed on suspicion of DUI after allegedly causing a fatal crash Saturday outside of Richland. 35-year-old Sarah Lee Klassen was arrested after her vehicle allegedly struck a motorcycle at about 7:40 in the evening on Saturday on Highway 240. The rider was killed. Klassen had been assigned as a public information officer for the Washington State Patrol's Tri-Cities District. She was released from the Benton County Jail yesterday on her own recognizance. She's placed on administrative leave as well. Klassen faces possible charges of DUI and vehicular homicide. The Richland Police Department is conducting the investigation to avoid a conflict of interest. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. The local nonprofit was founded back in 1985 and has since worked alongside volunteers and partners to protect over 27,000 acres of land across Chelan and Douglas counties. And to commemorate this milestone, the Land Trust has launched a year-long celebration titled 40 for 40. It includes a new logo, as well as the promise of 40 free public events in the coming year and 40 articles contributed to the Wenatchee world. By the way, special stickers of what you see on your screen, you can pick one up for free at the Land Trust's office in downtown Wenatchee. And it's the second year that the Chelan County Fair has crowned a queen to represent its annual rodeo. It's only the second year that honor has been bestowed. Austin Robinson was the inaugural queen last year. This year, it's Georgia Davenport, and she was a guest on this very program last week, and I talked to Georgia about her role representing the rodeo and the important part horses have played in her life. My guess is you're pretty good on a horse.
Right, yes.
How long have you been riding horses?
Since I was 2. Yeah, since I could walk pretty much. I grew up around horses. Both sides of my family had horses, so I grew up riding them, and I started taking lessons in Rock Island when I was in 1st grade, and then just went from there.
How many horses have you had? I mean, that you actually owned or are part of your family?
I have had 3 personal horses, and my family we have 5 horses.
So did you have your particular horse when you did the competition?
Yes.
And you had that sort of horse wisdom. I mean, how do you know that you and the horse are on the same wavelength as you are going through their motions and all the skills that you as a good equestrian have to have in the judging process?
I've done competitions with him before, and I feed him every day, so we have the bond. So. Is
he happy when he sees you each day?
Yeah, he's happy for his food.
Did you know when you fell in love with riding horses as just a little girl that this was something that you were going to do one way or the other until you can no longer get up on a horse? Because you're going to, you can tell.
I didn't think I wanted to be a rodeo queen. I didn't really know about them until later on in life. But then when I found out about them and got more into rodeo, I knew that was something I wanted to do.
The most important thing, it was number 1 on the list, is horsemanship. You have to do different things with your horse in a judged environment. Tell me the disciplines of horseback riding during the judging process to become the queen. How did that, talk about that?
There was a pattern that we had to memorize that we got judged on, and there was a flag run, so we had to go around the arena carrying a flag that we got judged on by the control of our horse and how we carried the flag. And there was also a portion where we had to do the queen wave running around the arena, and we got judged on that as well.
Did you know all of these disciplines in advance so you could practice? And my guess is you did, and you did, right?
Yes, I did practice. And I've had experience carrying flags before, so I wasn't nervous about it at all.
Did you excel in all of those disciplines that you just talked about, or did you have one that, gee, I didn't do so good, I hope they didn't notice?
No, I felt pretty confident in everything I did.
So was there a certain point during that, again, specifically the equestrian part of the judging process, that you knew, hey, I am doing pretty good?
Yeah, I'm a good rider, so I felt confident in what I was doing.
Did your horse have any idea what the heck was going on while you were doing all this stuff, or was it like just another day?
He didn't really, he doesn't care. He was just like, oh, okay, whatever I ask him to do, he does. Tell
me about your horse. What's your horse's name?
His name's Buddy. He's a 16-hand sorrel quarter horse, and he's 19 years old. I got him a couple years ago from a lady in Ellensburg, and she did flags on him, and now I have him, and I've competed on him, and we do cattle sorting. And last year I was a part of a drill team called the Stardust Cowgirls out of Ephrata, and so we were in rodeos and did drill and carried flags, and I did sponsor flags for Moses Lake with him last year. So he's a pretty good, versatile, all-around horse.
She will represent the rodeo well, and that's the news. It's 17 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way tonight, our evening news, of course, at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, so keep yourself in the loop about what's going on around here in north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. The news at 5, 6, and 10 on TV, up and running on the World Wide Web on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. You can watch the news that way. You can watch the news by going to our YouTube page. You can watch the news by going to our Facebook page. And you can watch the news on the app, I think, although I've never done it. There's a QR code. It stands for Quick Response. I didn't know that until I took a test. And if you're out and about and you see something that might be worthy of our attention, you don't hesitate. You send us an email, please, news@ncwlife.com. Not a lot of sports to talk about, but we'll do it anyway in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Sports at 20 minutes after the hour. The Mariners raced a one-run deficit with a run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, a run in the 7th, and 3 runs in the 8th, and they beat the Guardians 7-2 in Peoria. Yesterday, Louis Castillo gave up a couple of runs, but 6 Mariner relievers shut down Cleveland. Dominic Canzone and Cal Raleigh started the comeback.
He's set. Here's his pitch. Swung on. Hit in the air, high to center field, backpedaling Martinez, still going back. He doesn't have this one. It's off his glove to the wall. Velez rumbling around third base. He's being waved. The cutoff throw home on the way. Velez dives. He is safe. Safe on the slide as Hedges couldn't get the tag applied, and the Mariners have tied this one up. And that ball just had a ton of carry. Canzone ends up.
Here's the pitch to Cal Raleigh. Swinging a fly ball deep to right field. This one isn't coming back way out of the berm beyond the Cleveland bullpen. Cal Raleigh jumps on Paul Sewell's first pitch. Cal pinch hitting for Jorge Polanco. And with that home run to right field, the Mariners have the lead 3-2. And that was a no-doubter, baby. Wow, Cal Raleigh way out to right field. And the Mariners have the lead 3-2 at every base. And again, the 2-2 Mastroboni with a swing and a line drive and a center field for a base hit. Lopez will score. Here comes Dunn running third, being waved in. He's going to score. Montez in at second. Miles Mastroboni with a base hit to drive in a couple. And it's now the Mariners 7 and the Guardians 2.
Mariners are off today. It's pretty rare in spring training, and they travel to Surprise Stadium tomorrow to take on the Royals. Right-hander Bryce Miller will get the start for Seattle. The Seattle Kraken host the Minnesota Wild tonight at Climate Pledge Arena, the first of 4 games this week for the Kraken. Seattle has a 14-14-4 record at home. They are 26-31-4 overall. The Kraken have a 13-7-1 record in games where they convert at least 1 power play. Minnesota is very good on the road, 21-9-3. They are 35-22-4 overall. The Wild have an 11-5-2 record in 1-goal games. A matchup Tuesday. Second time these two teams have met this year. The Kraken won 5-4 in a shootout. In the previous meeting, Jordan Eberle led the Kraken, if you remember, with a couple of goals. The puck drops at 7 o'clock tonight on Kong TV. Just a couple of college basketball games yesterday, both involving Eastern. The Eastern Washington women won their last game of the regular season. They held off Montana 80-77 in Cheney. Alexis Pettis scored 21 for the Eagles. Mason Williams scored 20 points, but it wasn't enough for the men. Eastern men blew a 7-point halftime lead en route to an 83-72 loss to Montana. It's been a rough year for the Eastern Washington men's basketball team. Yesterday at this time, we knew who was going to play whom at the state tournaments in Yakima and Spokane. We just didn't know the times. Well, now we know the times. In the girls, the round of 12 on Wednesday, Kashmir will take on Montesano at 10:30 in the morning. In the 1A tournament in Yakima. In the 1B tournament in Spokane, Lummi Nation and Pateros will play at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Brewster and Waterville Mansfield have already punched their tickets to the quarterfinals. Brewster will take on the winner of Colfax or Napavine on Thursday. Waterville Mansfield takes on the winner of Lummi Nation or Pateros. And for the boys, the round of 12 on Wednesday, again, we now know the tip times. For 1A Kashmir in Yakima, they'll take on Seton Catholic at 3:45 tomorrow. For Chelan, they have a 9 p.m. tip-off against the Bear Creek School, but Okanagan has to play at 9 in the morning. That's awfully early to take on Toledo. And finally, Tri-Cities Prep and Lake Roosevelt will tip it off at 12:15 at the Spokane Arena. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Obscure holiday. First of all, happy Fat Tuesday if you're into carnival, and I mean Fat Tuesday in a number of ways. We'll get to that in just a little bit. It's March 4th, so it's March 4th and Do Something Day. It's National Pound Cake Day. It's National Hug a GI Day. National Grammar Day. It's Marching Band Day. It's National Sons Day. It's National Toy Soldier Day. It's National Sportsmanship Day. But today, because it's Fat Tuesday, it's actually World Obesity Day. And heads up, folks, we're fat. Almost 2 billion adults in the world over the age of 18 are overweight. Of that number, about 650 million are considered obese. 13% of adults are obese. 39% of adults are overweight. In almost 40 million children under the age of 5 are considered overweight or obese, under the age of 5. By World Health Organization standards, an adult with a BMI, a body mass index of 25 or more, is considered overweight. If your BMI is 30 or more, you are considered obese from the World Health Organization. And it's getting worse. Between 1975 and 2015, the prevalence of obesity nearly tripled. And of course, if you're carrying around that much weight, it doesn't do the ticker any good. The fattest states in this country, West Virginia leads the way. 41% of all West Virginians are either overweight or obese. Louisiana has a 40% rate. Oklahoma, 40%. The leanest of our states is Colorado, Vermont, and California. Where do we rank? 31.7% of Washingtonians are either overweight or obese, which is a lot better than West Virginia, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Happy, well, I don't know, is it happy? I don't know. I think it's funny. Maybe they picked today as World Obesity Day because it is Fat Tuesday. I don't know. I don't get to make these decisions. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history. You know, they wrote the poem in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. You know all that about when Columbus left for the New World, but nobody ever wrote a poem about the day he got back. In 1493, Columbus gets back to Lisbon. No, it doesn't rhyme. March 4th, 1493, 532 years ago today, Christopher Columbus and what was left of his crew get back to Lisbon, Portugal. We're back. There he is. Hi, Queen. How are you? I want to take a shower, then we'll get together. And he brought things with him, which the Queen was really happy about. He brought gold. He brought pearls back. He brought tobacco. Tobacco was pretty much unknown in Europe until Christopher Columbus brought some back. Didn't say what kind of tobacco. And he brought some natives, too. He brought some of the folks who lived in the Bahamas and the Caribbean back with him, I don't think voluntarily. Christopher Columbus gets back 532 years ago today. All right, guess that state. We have another state joining the Union, and that's a pretty good flag. Now, that's Vermont, but that's not the Vermont state seal. We've talked about this before. Most states, they just take their state seal, like the state of Washington. They put it up on a piece of cloth. They call it good. That's actually not the state seal of Vermont. That's a pretty cool flag, I got to tell you. Vermont is admitted to the United States as the 14th state 234 years ago today, March 4th, 1791, the Green Mountain State. Fun facts about Vermont. They make a lot of maple syrup. They are the largest producer of maple syrup in this country. About 500,000 gallons a year. That's about half of all the maple syrup in this country that's made in this country is made in Vermont. With a population of just over 8,000, Montpelier, Vermont is the smallest state capital in the United States. And with a population of 44,743, Burlington is the smallest city that happens to be the largest city in a state. According to a Gallup poll, Vermont is the least religious state in the country. Only 22% of the respondents said they consider religion important and regularly attend church. Vermont is one of 4 states that you will not see billboards. They are banned in Vermont. They're also banned in Maine, Hawaii, and Alaska, so it's always the pretty states that got a heads up and said no billboards. So you can't read billboards in Vermont, but the state leads the nation in libraries per capita. And check it out, public libraries in Vermont do not receive funding from the state, which means they are small and quaint and quirky, and they stay open because the locals chip in. Local funds or donations or endowments. In other words, the locals in the towns and villages of Vermont chip in to keep their libraries open. Vermont is constantly being named the healthiest state in the country, and with good reason. The residents are less likely to be obese. We just mentioned that. They exercise more. They have easy access to a doctor. 99% of Vermonters have health insurance. Vermont is the only state in the union that does not have a balanced budget requirement. However, they have balanced their budget every year since 1991, even though they don't legally have to. And Vermont is the only state in the United States that requires voters to be sworn in when they register. Before 2007, when you registered to vote, you had to be sworn in by somebody who had the power to swear somebody in. But they changed the law in 2007 to make it easier to administer the oath. Instead of being administered by only people who can do it legally, anybody can administer the oath to vote, including yourself. You can apply. Once you move to Vermont, you can register to vote, and then you can swear in yourself. There you go. Happy birthday, Vermont. And March 4th, 1849 was a Sunday. And because it was a Sunday, and March 4th was when presidents were inaugurated back in the day, President-elect of the United States, Zachary Taylor, and the Vice President, Millard Fillmore, did not take their respective oaths of office. They did so the following day on Monday, which led to the erroneous theory that outgoing President pro tem of the United States, Senate David Rice Atchison, was actually the acting president from 12 noon on March 4th to 12 noon on March 5th. Most constitutional scholars and historians say it probably isn't true, but it is kind of weird. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. These people are long gone. You've probably heard of none of them, but it's a pretty dried up celebrity birthday day. Blanche of Castile, there she is. She was the Queen of France by marriage to Louis VIII way back a long, long time ago. She was born in the state in 1188. I told you we're going way back. She also had like 14 kids, of which only about 4 survived to adulthood. Hey, it was 1188. That's what happened back then. Henry the Navigator, born in the state in 1394. He was Portuguese. He got his nickname because he knew his way around a compass and reading the stars and figuring out where the heck they were. Henry the Navigator. Boy, I told you didn't hear of any of these people. But Jack Sheppard is an interesting story. He was born in the state in 1702. He was executed in England at the age of 22. He became a folk hero in Great Britain because he was arrested and imprisoned 5 times in 1724 alone. But the first 4 times he was arrested and imprisoned, he escaped. So he was widely popular with the poorer classes of England. The 5th time he was caught, he was convicted, and they hanged him. So he couldn't break out of jail anymore. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. The Cash for Clunkers program, I believe, is still underway. And it's just like it sounds. If your HVAC system is old and not efficient, doesn't get the job done, you may be able to qualify to get the whole thing ripped out and replaced with a new one. From Alpine Air, for heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike McNally's got a brand new opinion. Daylight savings starts this weekend, the political ramifications of it. Mike will talk about that, and then live in studio, as he always is on Tuesdays, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Drade. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Braden, let's talk about think tanks, people who know what they're talking about and have knowledge of what they're doing. To me, I find them terribly intimidating, and they were a life-changing thing for you, wasn't it?
I think absolutely. Like when I first started like 17 years ago in the financial industry, I think mastermind groups, think tanks, whatever you want to call them, they were hugely impactful for me. And still to this day, like we host 4 to 5 groups a year, and we've grown our business with providing that type of value. And really what all a mastermind or a think tank group is getting people together and getting the right people together. Because it's not about just getting people together. You can get the wrong people in the room, but you need the right people in the room. And once you have the right people in the room, there's a lot of amazing ideas that you can hear, you can learn from.
Nobody has all the answers.
Nobody has, and you can learn. I mean, even though we host them, right? We host many of these, and we have our clients come in. We invite new clients to come in and join these events.
You learn stuff, don't you?
I learn more just by facilitating these different groups from all the different business owners, because there's so many ideas that are free-flowing, right? We get your money into the free flow, your mind into the free flow state. There's some amazing thinking that can be done. And how often do we give our minds the time to really not be distracted, right? I love roundabouts. Why do I love roundabouts? Because when you go to a stoplight, you see somebody on their phone instantly right away. In a roundabout, you have to be intentional and focused, and that's what these type of mastermind or think tank groups are.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Since 18-year-olds got the vote in about 1971, I have only voted for a Democrat in a major election twice. The first time for McGovern in 1972. You know, hippie days, Vietnam, all that stuff. You know how it was. However, when one of our U.S. senators, Patty Murray, said she would try to end the asinine twice-a-year time change, I wrote to her and said, Patty, if you can get this done, I will vote for you. Once. Now, evidently, she reintroduced the Sunshine Protection Act bill to eliminate the idiocy of twice-a-year time changes in January of this year is when she introduced it. Now, so you go, Patty. You get this done, and I will keep my word, and I will vote for you. Once. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at MerryMaidsOfWenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Valley Tractor and Rentals. Rails and Ales is ready to take over the heart of downtown Wenatchee on Saturday, March 8th. From noon to 3, Centennial Park will host the Family Snow Play Day, and Mission Ridge is trucking in tons of snow for both Centennial Park and down Orondo Avenue. Live music all day, and there'll be 4 different beer gardens and food trucks throughout downtown. The Rail Jam competition starts at 4:30, and music in the park goes until 10.
And we are back here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is time for our weekly catch-up with the man himself, Austin Andrade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. If you don't know by now, we regressed a little bit. We had a chance to get a couple more points and give Seattle a run for their money for that 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. We did not. Just to quickly recap, Austin, because you were there, you know. Friday night at the Spokane Arena, big crowd, 11,000 people. We scored the first goal of the game, and that was it. Chiefs are good. 5-1 was the final there. Nice victory. Hockey fights cancer on Saturday in overtime. We knocked off Tri-City 2-1. That's the first time the home team has won, I believe, right, in the Tri-City Wenatchee rivalry this year.
Yeah, in about a year. Yeah,
it's been
over
that
a year.
long. And then on Sunday in Vancouver, the Giants got the better part of it, 3-1. So just to recap, my friend, we're hurting. There's no other way to put it. I don't want to gild the obvious lily, but we got some problems.
There's the margin for error is not there anymore. You look at how Seattle's done. They're playing some of their best hockey of the year right now, and we're in a spot where we need to pick up some points, and we need a little bit of help from Seattle. This is the point where we need to pick up some wins. We're going to need a little bit of help. Right now, Seattle's number is, the number they're chasing is 13, which they've got 9 games to go. So essentially, if they win 7 of 9, if they win 6 of 9 and take the last one to overtime, wins won't help us the rest of the way if Seattle does its work right now. So it's crunch time is here. We're certainly not out of it, but our margin for error is no longer there, and we need to pick up some wins the rest of the way here and finish this thing up strong, make a run at it.
It doesn't help that Seattle has 9 games remaining and we only have 8. That gives them not only that they only do have a 3-point lead, it kind of gives them an upper hand because they're going to have one more game to get what they need to have done.
It gives them an upper hand. It's a big advantage for them. Right now we're down to 8 chances to pick up wins and add on to our point total. We've got 8 games against some very tough teams. You got Kamloops, who's right with us, and everybody else is well in front of us. Prince George is battling for the number 4 spot and trying to pick up a BC Division title up north. You got a couple games against Everett at the end of this one, so we've got Tri-City on the way as well. So we've got some tough teams ahead of us, so we need to get to work and get this thing taken care of here before the end of the season as best we can.
The Western Conference playoff picture is pretty much a set deal. 1 through 7 is done. There may be some jockeying for position at the very top and at the very bottom where we are, right around that 8, 7, and 6. Prince George is in 4th. They're not going to finish 3rd, and they're not going to finish 7th. They're locked in pretty tight. They have 76 points, so they're 8 points behind Spokane, but 8 points ahead of Tri-City, who is in 5th. So they're going to finish in 4th unless the team declares bankruptcy and drops out of the league. And Prince George tomorrow night, as you mentioned, they're good. The Cougars are good.
Yeah, Prince George will see a team with some high-end goaltending. Josh Ravensbergen's their top goaltender. Came in as a 16-year-old last year, really impressed, and came back this year. He's been even better. He's a 30-win goaltender. He's one of only, I think, 2 in the Western Hockey League right now, and he may well be the first goaltender off the board in the NHL draft coming up in June. So they've got some solid scoring, some good defensemen, but for them it starts with their back end, and Josh Ravensbergen has picked up a lot of the work for them and carried them a good part of the way.
It's a strange schedule. We have a Wednesday home game. It's very strange indeed. Haven't seen one of those against Prince George. Prince George stays in town. We take on Prince George again on Friday at the Town Toyota Center. Then we wrap up the weekend at Tri-City on Saturday. Let's go back to the weekend real quick. We have highlights of our very exciting victory over the Americans on Saturday. Hockey fights cancer. That's what you'll see all over the ice at the Town Toyota Center. A 2-1 overtime victory on Saturday. We have highlights. Once again, Austin, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in our studio. You folks at home, in the interest of safety, please use your televisions. Here we go, Saturday night.
Well, Saturday night, it started early for the Tri-City Americans. 4.5 minutes into the game. Pick off a pass and take it the other way. Looking for an odd man rush, 3-on-2. First shot for Jake Goodell does not go, but the rebound is a clean one, and Savin Verk is right there to clean it up and bang it in to make it a 1-0 game. 4.5 minutes into the contest. Right there, a great save by Brendan G, but banging it in is Verk. Wenatchee on the power play, and they would take care of their end of the work late in the second period. Down to Evan Friesen on the goal line and whip it around and send it home. Devo once said, whip it. And Evan Friesen whips it good. Underneath Lucas Mateka and into the back of the net. Tied this game at 1 apiece, and another goal on the power play. Slipped that one by. Tied at the end of the second. Scoreless in the third. Check this out one more time. There it is. And the red light proves it. Nothing in the third, so we go straight to overtime. 22 shots between the teams in the extra session. Only 2 in overtime. And check this one out. 2-on-1. Make it 2-on-2 the other way. But Reed Andreessen at the front. Reed with the redirect. And he says, we got a bust catch.
He did a great job of staying out of the crease, too. Just legal. Yay, we win. Drive safely.
Drive home safely.
Yeah.
We'll drive to Vancouver. We'll pack the 2 points. And big win for the Wild on Saturday night in front of a great crowd, 3,700 plus, one of our biggest of the year.
By the way, you saw the special pink jerseys they were wearing on Saturday night for Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Can we still bid on those? Are they still available, or do they move them all out Saturday after the game?
There might be some in the merchandise that haven't been sold, but most of them, if not all of them, have gone to very happy bidders.
I brought that up. I know people who anytime they roll out the special jerseys, they get it. And it helps that it's good for a good cause as
Absolutely.
well. Sunday on the road to Vancouver to take on the Giants. We scored the first goal of the game, and that was about it. But it's a really neat goal, so we thought we'd show it for you. Once again, here is our lone goal on Sunday afternoon against Vancouver. Austin, it's all yours.
And halfway through the first period, it belongs to Brendan Dunphy. Here we go. 10.5 minutes left in the first period, and the Wild on the power play. They rush it in. Good start for the Wild on this one. Played back to the right point, but they're able to hold this one in. Check out Brendan Dunphy cycling over to the left point. It's not this shot. It's that one. A one-timer from the top of the circle, slaps it home. We call it a half-speed slapper. Picked up the first goal of the night on Friday, picked up another one on Sunday, top half of the net, and the Wild on top by one. Cowabunga, Wild in the lead on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day for the big fundraiser up in Vancouver for the Children's Miracle Network. A lot of teams partner with Nickelodeon on those jerseys. I know a lot of SPHL teams have done it. I know a lot of the CHL teams do that, and Vancouver did that on Sunday. Some interesting jerseys, but they were more worried about the 2 points, and they got them. We were worried about the 2 points. We needed more than that goal against Brendan Dunphy, but got some great goaltending from Brendan G at the other end. Picked up 33 more saves. Just ran into a hot goaltender. Burke Hood made 39 of them at the other end.
When your goaltender makes 39 saves, you're probably more often than not going to win. We mentioned already, Austin, there's only 8 games left in the regular season for the Wenatchee Wild, but there's only 3 home games, and 2 of them are Wednesday and Friday. So if you haven't gone to one, Wenatchee, gee, honey, should we go? Well, you only got 3 games left. We hope more. We hope we finish in that 8th and final playoff spot, but you're running out of hockey if you haven't gone yet.
Now is definitely the time to do it, and you'll see some great hockey this week with Prince George coming in. But game coming up tomorrow night. Ward Media is presenting Wild Wednesday for us. So we want all of our fans to grab the retro jerseys if you got them. If the oldest jersey you have is the one you got over Christmas from this season, wear that one to the game, and we want to fill the place up and fill it up with some energy and push these guys on to a win coming up tomorrow night.
We need to talk about the Thunderbirds. As we mentioned before, we have 8 games remaining. They have 9 games remaining. This is basically it. It's going to be Wenatchee. I mean, Kamloops is technically still in it, but I don't think they're going to be a factor. It's between Wenatchee and Seattle for that 8th and final playoff spot, with Seattle currently having a 3-point lead. They play Kamloops tonight, which is the team just below us. The Thunderbirds do. They play tonight at home. This will be their 4th game in 5 days. So Kamloops can pull the upset because the Thunderbirds are probably a little leg punky, perhaps.
Well, Seattle's run into some good teams here of late. They've played a lot of hockey, but to their advantage, they'll be at home tonight. And Seattle has picked up some wins against some really good teams. They got Spokane over the weekend, so we're hoping those legs will get a little heavy tonight with the work that's been put into them. But Seattle's playing some good hockey right now. There's no doubt.
Let's compare the conferences right now. Western Conference, as we mentioned already, I think 3 of the 4 teams with the best record in the entire league are in the Western Conference, and that includes, I believe, Victoria. It includes Everett, certainly. Mm-hmm. Spokane is red hot. We don't talk about the Eastern Conference very much. Would you dare to compare the strength of the 2 conferences? Is the team that's going to come out eventually as the Western Conference champion, by definition, would be the prohibitive favorite to win the Cup?
Not necessarily. I mean, you have teams like Everett, who's been the solid team all season long, and then you got Spokane with a lot of high-end talent, but you got a team like Medicine Hat, who's got 7 NHL draft picks, maybe even 8, I think, on their roster right now. You got Calgary, who really loaded up. You got a lot of Central Division teams out of Alberta who really loaded up for a long run. And then you've got teams like Prince Albert out of the East Division who I don't know are going to be the favorite to get out of the Eastern Conference, but could stay around and make things a little complicated, if nothing else. So I don't know that anybody's necessarily a prohibitive favorite to win. I think you've got favorites to go a long way in this one and be contenders at the end. But who's going to come out of it? I don't know that I can say for certain. We saw Portland go all the way to the finals last year against a really good Moose Jaw team that had 8 NHL division or NHL draft picks on their roster. So I think it's anybody's game as to who can win it. But I think there are definitely a few favorites as to who might be around at the end of this one coming up in mid-May.
The Wild. By the way, I got really excited the other day when I saw that the Kraken were playing the Wild. I thought that's great. You got to go to Climate Pledge, and it turns out it's Minnesota Wild. Yeah.
Well, there's always the battle of the Sound against Seattle. I know they play it against Everett most years, but they've rotated it around a little bit. Hopefully we'll get our shot here in a year or two.
Is this going to be the year that a Canadian team is going to win the Stanley Cup? It's been 3 decades, longer than that. I think it was Montreal in the early 90s. Winnipeg. The Maple Leafs have come out of nowhere. They're smoking hot. Is this drought going to finally come to an end?
I think it's close. I don't know that it'll be this year that it happens. I keep thinking it's going to be this year, whatever the year happens to be, and then we get a little closer. But last year we got all the way down to Game 7, and it didn't quite happen. But I think we're going to see it sooner rather than later. Winnipeg's had a great year this season, and they seem to be a team that's slowly been on the rise here the last few years. This could possibly be the year. Maple Leafs, they got guys like Austin Matthews take care of business for them. I don't know if it'll be this year, but I don't think the wait's going to be much longer.
Again, Prince George Wednesday. I still can't get over that. At the Town Toyota Center, they got Thursday off. Prince George again on Friday. We play the Cougars a lot, not just Wednesday and Friday, but we have a couple more games, I think, back-to-back up there, right?
Yeah, well, we played them 1 game back in September. With the scheduling, we have 1 extra game against somebody along the way, and Prince George happens to be that team. But we played them once early. It was an overtime win at the end of September for us. Now we go on the road to play them next week. We'll play at Kamloops on Wednesday and hit Prince George a little bit later on in the week, Friday and Saturday, and then come back home and get ready for a full week to wrap up the regular season against Everett. But we got 4 games against a tough Prince George team coming up, and a couple of them are this week. Then we'll get them on the road next week.
And it should be pointed out, and I want you to comment on this before we cut you loose because we're almost out of time. As I mentioned before, Prince George is in 4th place right now in the West. That's where they're going to finish. They're going to finish in 4th place because the gap between the teams in 3rd and 5th is so big. Knowing that they're going to be finishing in 4th, well, you know, they have a 99.9% chance of finishing in 4th place, getting home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Do you think that might take the foot off the gas a little bit, give us a chance to maybe sneak a couple out on Wednesday and Friday?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're still playing for points. Technically, they're still in the chase for the BC Division title right now, which would bump them from 4th to 2nd. So I don't think this is a spot. We got 3 weeks left in the regular season. I don't think anybody's going to be taking their foot off the gas. If there is a time where teams might do that, I don't think we're going to catch them at that time. Everybody's got something to play for right now, and we're certainly going to get Prince George's best this week and next week as well. They're going to want to take care of business in front of their home fans and defend home ice.
Well, let's kick a little Cougar butt, shall we? Again, Wednesday at the Town Toyota Center, Friday, Prince George again at the Town Toyota Center. We wrap up the weekend on Saturday at Tri-City. Again, only 3 home games remaining, and 2 of them are Wednesday and Friday, so get your tickets, WenatcheeWildHockey.com. But for whatever reason you can't make it, Austin calls the games, and he does a heck of a job on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, which consists of 1 station, but it's just fun to say network. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, your weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
The end is near. The final days are here for the historic going out of business sale at Crown Furniture in Wenatchee. Yes, after 60 years, we're closing forever in a matter of days. With so much great furniture still on hand, we invite you in for some friendly negotiation on price. Just find what you like and negotiate. If you're reasonable, it's yours. Negotiate on living rooms, on dining rooms, on bedrooms, mattress sets, fine leather, and more. If you're reasonable, it's yours. The final days mean the greatest savings at Crown Furniture. After 60 years, closing the doors and going out of business forever.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Temperature hasn't moved a bit. 38 degrees an hour ago. It's still 38 degrees. Yesterday at this time it was 48 degrees. What a gorgeous, gorgeous Monday. 61 degrees. We almost tied the record high of 62, which we only set like 5 years ago. Well, we ain't going to get to 61 today. We'll be 10 degrees cooler than that, but we want to show you the 3 slides, or the 3 elements anyway, that we showed you to start this program. First, just a general overview of what we're going to have for the rest of the weekend into the early part of next week. It's going to be pretty cloudy today, a little bit of light rain this afternoon. The snow level is going to be at 3,200 feet. Stevens is going to get 2, maybe 3 inches of snow, maybe an inch on Blewett, and maybe a little bit of snow up in the Medhow Valley. Outside of that, we're going to be just too warm for snow here. I think we're probably done with snow for winter, even though winter itself still has a couple more weeks to go. So that's your weather outlook on balance for the week. As far as rain is concerned, this is a forecast model that the National Weather Service sent this way this morning. As you can see, most of the precipitation is going to come in the morning hours, if it hasn't already, in the Puget Sound area, work its way from the southwest to the northeast, and it gets over the top of the mountains. So we're going to have some light rain between about 1 to about 4 this afternoon, with a little bit of snow in the mountain passes. So that's what we're looking at there as far as rain from today into tomorrow morning. That's a cool little graphic from the National Weather Service. I like that as well. And then it's going to be a little breezy on Thursday, especially up north. The winds, the pressure gradients are going to tighten down a little bit. The closer you get to Canada, the windier it's going to be. It's going to be barreling right down the Columbia River, right through Omak, Okanagan, right into Pateros and Tenasket and Republic and all those fantastic cities up there. But by the time it gets down here to the Wenatchee Valley, it's going to start running out of steam. However, Waterville, Wilbur, you're going to see a little wind on Thursday, and a little bit out in the Columbia Basin as well, because there's no mountains to keep the wind from dissipating. From the National Weather Service, it's going to be cloudy today, a high of about 51. Again, a little bit of light rain between 1 and about 4 or so, give or take a couple. Partly cloudy tonight, 30 for the overnight low. That's just about our normal high and low, by the way. 48 and 31, so 51 and 30, it's about normal. Partly sunny Wednesday, a little bit cooler with a high of 49, and then we have a very nice setup. It really gets going Thursday, lots of sunshine, high of 54, lots of sunshine Friday, high of 54, lots of sunshine Saturday, high of 54, couple of clouds on Sunday, something we can't handle, and a high of 56. And don't forget, daylight saving time begins Saturday at 2 a.m., which, quite frankly, stinks. And that's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.